So hey everyone, NSE is going for the IPO, and there's a lot of buzz and lot of people have been talking about the NSE IPO. So that is at the hype right now. So if I had NSE and BSE in front of me, I would be choosing BSE of course over NSE. Why? So that is what we're going to talk about in this video. So we'll be clearly explaining why I would be choosing BSE over NSE. We'll be looking at the fundamentals and a few other factors. And by the end of the video, you'll get a very clear understanding on why I'll be choosing BSE or NSE. And also you'll get an idea if you should be subscribing for NSE IPO. So let's start out. Okay. So obviously we know in India there are two major exchanges. One is NSE and BSE, which is National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange. If for you to get a perspective, I would say NSE is a grown-up adult, where BSE is a child which is having a growth potential. So how do I explain this? Very clearly, I'll tell you this. First, we'll break down the current income of both the companies. In financial year 2025, we look into what are the different sources of revenue for this company and what are they earning and how much are they earning. Okay, so regarding exchanges, so BSE and NSE is an exchange. So regarding exchanges, these are the 5 ways that these exchanges are making money. One is trading fees. Obviously, they are exchanges. When stocks have been traded in the exchanges, they'll have a fee. So that is trading fee, which accounts to the primary income. Okay, then there is listing services. When a company is being listed in this exchange, they'll have obviously a charge, and that is listing services. Then there is data and co-location, which means that NSE and BSE is having a hectic lot of data and they're selling this data. And regarding the co-location, we know that they've been collecting money to the co-location thing. So obviously we know that. And then there is the other income space. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 different type of revenue that this company is having. So these are the major revenues. So NSE is collecting 14,050 crores in trading fees, which is 82% of their total revenue. And BSE is collecting 2040 in trading fees, which is 63% of their total revenue. So you have to have the focus on the percentage here. Okay. Listing fees 340 crores, which is 2% for NSE. So it is 500 crores for BSE, which is 16% for the entire revenue. And then there is data and co-location, which is 10%, which is 1,700 crores, 1,715 crores, 10% of NSE, and 414 crores, which is 13% for BSE. And in other income, it is 1,036 crore, which is 6% for NSE, and 279 crores, which is 8% for BSE. So you look at the total revenue, it is 17,141 crores for NSE and 3,236 crore for BSE. Obviously, we know with the size of revenue, you can understand that BSE is small, NSE is big. Clear? Right. But here, one of the most important points that we have to be looking at is that there is something called a revenue concentration. That is, if a company is having its major part of revenue coming from a single source of income, it is going to be a hard thing. Here NSE, 82% of their trading fees is coming from, their revenue is coming from trading fees, which is a bad sign. But for BSE, it is 63%. Obviously, these are exchanges. Their only source of income or primary source of income is going to be trading fees, which itself makes the exchange business a bad thing, because obviously when a worthy competitor comes in or something bad happens, but there's a lot of entry barriers and everything, we can talk about it. But here NSE, the primary source of income is from trading fees, which is 82%, which is huge. And one more thing we have to focus here is BSE is small, 3,236 crores in revenue, whereas NSE, its peer, is having 17,400 crores in revenue. So we have to understand that in next 3 years, if stock market is growing the same pace that it is, obviously both exchanges is going to have more revenue. But in terms of percentage and terms of ROCE or ROE, what company is going to give you more is the question. Okay. So I hope you got an idea how NSE and BSE is making money and how much are they making and what are the risks and what are the important factors that you've been looking at. Now we will be looking at the 3-year progress of both companies. 3-year progress as such. From FY 2022, how beautifully the company have grown in terms till FY 25. Okay. So NSE trading fees collected on 2022, FY 2022 is 7,600 crores. And FY 2025 is 14,050 crores, which is 23% of CAGR. Got it? 23% of CAGR. Okay. Now BSE trading fees collected in 2022 was just 280 crores. Now it is 2,040 crores, which is 170% of CAGR. So look at the CAGR. Obviously, when something small is growing, it is going to have a higher CAGR rather than a bigger company like NSE. So I have that in mind, but BSE have a heck lot to grow. So we have to get into that. Okay. So you have to see this. It's very important thing. NSE options share. Okay, the share of option trading for NSE has reduced from 99% in 2022 to 92% in 2025, whereas for BSE, that option volume was 0.5%, which obviously we know the Sensex weekly expiry was not there, I guess, in 2022. It has grown to 8%. Okay, so from 0.5 to 8% is a growth in terms of option share. So here we can actually look at this important point that BSE has given a 170% of CAGR compared to Nifty in terms of their trading fees. Okay, BSE have jumped 7x where NSE have jumped just 2x. Okay, and obviously market is slightly tilting towards the BSE thing because of the different expiry date thing. We can clearly see that, right? See, Nifty, only Nifty is usually Bank Nifty also used to have the weekly options. Right now it is not there. So what happens is all of that money is being going to Sensex as well, which increase the option share of BSE. Okay, so that's a positive thing for BSE, a bad thing for NSE. Now, we are actually projecting these figures. So all of these projecting figures, so all of this has been data that I've been telling you, but now I'm going to tell you how these exchanges are going to be in the next 5 years. So when I'm talking about the next 5 years, it's all about the projection. There is no assurance or everything. Okay, and also this entire video I'm not giving any suggestions, any recommendations or anything, because this entire video is my view on these two shares, and I'm clearly giving you data based on the public domain available. Okay, so it isn't a recommendation for you to either buy or not buy anything. Okay, so clearly the fee pool is trying to be growing at a 20% year on year. Okay, so with every year we'll be adding 20% growth on the fees collected for the both exchange and split fees between. See, obviously when the time is going forward, BSE will be having a more share in the market. So we are looking at a 45% share in BSE and 55% share in NSE. Okay, clearly into the numbers. NSE fees, which is 55%, which is going to be growing from 14,050 crores in FY55 to 22,000 crores. And in BSE, which is 45%, from 2,040 crores, it is going to be growing to 18,000 crores. Again, mentioning this term that something which is small can grow faster than something which is big, which means that a bigger ship takes slow. So keep that in mind very clearly. So trading fees obviously is going to be the major chunk of revenue for the exchanges, which is close to 60%. Looking at that, we are estimating a total revenue for NSE, which is at 36,700 crores and BSE at 30,000 crores. Right now, it has been at somewhere close to 3,200 crores. We are looking at a 30,000 crores. And what about the profits? What about the PAT, profit after tax? Okay, see, NSE revenue is going to be 36,000 crores. BSE revenue is going to be 30,000 crores. So you're looking at PAT here. PAT means it's profit after tax, okay, which is going to be close to 40%, let's say, for both exchanges. NSE PAT will be 14,600, which is 2.1x growth. Okay, for BSE, the PAT is going to be 12,000 crore, which is going to be 9.3% of growth or 9.3x growth. Okay, so you look at the number of times the PAT is going to be growing compared to NSE. NSE is taking 2.1x where BSE is estimated to take 9.3x, which is going to be great. Okay, so looking at the basic BSE share price mathematics, here are the things. There is 138 million shares available in FY30, that is post 5 years. We are looking at a PAT of 12,000 crore and EPS of 870, earnings per share of 870 rupees. Okay, so being valued at a very basic 18x PE multiple, that is, the share price of BSE is going to be at 15,600 rupees per share. See, in 2023, the share price was close to 110, 120. The stock has grown 1,550 points to all the way to 2,500 rupees per share. Now, in the next 5 years, we are estimating the price to be growing to 15,600 by FY30. Okay, so this is something a very positive expectation that we have it. Now my question is, why do I actually think BSE is going to grow that way? See, I have a couple of points here. See, BSE have been like, there is a 50% lesser fees for brokers for BSE. So obviously brokers can promote BSE, obviously that can happen. And BSE is adopting like the tech very clearly, and they have a very low latency. So that is a fact that brokers and other technical traders look into, right? So they've been using new tech and they have a very low latency. And that's another important point that I've told you earlier is this, guys, Sensex option turnover is going to be so large. Okay, because when it comes to weekly options, there are only two index that is available right now, which is Sensex and Nifty. So Sensex option turnover is going to be 15x year on year. You look at it, 15x year on year. It's a big thing. And SEBI don't want a single strong exchange. SEBI want multiple strong exchanges because they don't want the risk to be located in a single exchange. They don't want to be happening that. SEBI clearly want 1+ exchanges which are strong as well. So BSE will not be going down. We'll be keeping at that pace, of course. Now my question is, why do you avoid an NSE? Why am I actually skipping NSE? So I'm not actually skipping. I would probably, looking at the hype, looking at the grey market premium, I'd be probably growing at, I'll be probably looking at NSE for a listing gain, depending upon the all other factors. But I'll not be holding to the share because the share is obviously a bit of hyped and over valuation. It is having a slow growth because NSE is a big fish now. Okay, we have a very small fish which is BSE, which is an alternative. Obviously, I can put in my money of that part to actually BSE, which is actually growing as well. So we have a clear direction here. So from my side, these are the things. And one important thing, the old colocation issue. I've made a video about that already. You can probably check that out also. So that is also there. The old colocation issue, that kind of scammy thing is there already on that NSE. But I don't think that it's a very big issue, but just giving you a point here. Okay, so for us to clearly understand, for me personally, I would be going with BSE rather than NSE, which doesn't mean that you should not be going to NSE or BSE, because I know for different people, everything is different. So with this number of revenue multiples, you have to see that with BSE, with NSE, there are definite risk and everything. So if you are going to buy or sell anything, have a very clear idea on what are you selling, what are you buying, or else you have a professional doing that for you, or else don't do it. Okay, so have that thing. It's not a recommendation. It's just my take on two major exchanges getting listed and have a clear view on how the financials are working and what I am expecting. So I hope this video have given you a very basic clarity on the difference between NSE and BSE, and it have actually given you an idea to choose between either of these stocks. Hope you got that point. So yeah, till next video. Thank you. Bye.